When they come for us, we'll end it, the whole thing. The world's ours, and we know how to take it.
Last season was Rick building and building and building to confidence, and a very important discovery that community was the key to everything.
As a group, they live for each other, they support each other, and that group gives each one of them a reason to live.
There was a bright future for them. They learned how to work together. They had threats from outside sources that they dealt with.
They had conquered the wolves, they had conquered, the massive walker attack that happened, and things were actually looking about the most up as they ever had for them.
They seemed to have a pretty good grasp on things, but it kind of all went downhill by the end of the season.
Want to make today your last day on Earth?
What if it's the last day on Earth for you?
The overconfidence of Rick Grimes and his group led to them finding themselves in a very tenuous situation with a guy named Negan.
Pissing our pants yet?
Anyone who's a fan of the comic book has been looking forward to Negan.
Negan has an incredible amount of power, both in just his cult of personality, but also in his practical manpower.
We started getting a glimpse of him, even though we didn't say his name and didn't really know that that's who Dee and Honey were talking about when they were fleeing.
Hand over your weapons.
Why should we?
Well, they're not yours.
Whose are they?
Your property now belongs to Negan.
What he has done is he's created an army, and that army believes in him.
Welcome to where you're going.
At first, they thought it was going to be like everything else. They'd find a way out. The acceptance was not an initial acceptance.
You are so gonna regret crossing me in a few minutes.
The hardest thing that Rick had to deal with was the fact that he was completely helpless.
We have a character and a system that he's come up against that he has no answers for.
By the time they end up in that clearing, you see it all over Rick's face of how badly he miscalculated and how serious the price is that they're all gonna pay.
Eeny, meeny, miny, mo.
The characters that survive are going to see a much larger world than even they found at the hilltop.
They didn't realize that Negan is not only controlling one group of saviors, but there are groups all over.
I am King Ezekiel.
As we see how Negan's system works for him, we'll see how he has brought order to the world, not necessarily an order that I think a lot of people would favor.
And you are it.
I think the fans should fear the most that Negan is capable of killing anyone. Anyone that you may love on the show in a split second could be gone.
There